Hi guys, TheBearsFan06 here, and today I have for you the fighter breakdown video. This video is my opinion on the current fighters. You can agree or disagree with me. It's my opinion based on the fighters, how I see it. Go ahead and comment in the description if you have any questions or if you agree or disagree with me. But let's get this started. First we're going to talk about is D.O.T Endbringer. He is from the Iconic build. The reason he's called the Iconic build is because he is the icon fighter for the app. He's really cool because of that alone. Overall though, he has pretty good stats as well. Let's pull up my comparison here. So there wasn't too much to compare him to because what we've learned is Kohoots is a single target spell versus an attack all spell, which is slightly disappointing in my opinion. Makes me want him a little bit less. The only thing I think I could compare him to was Odric Old Soul. He's basically a beefed up Odric. So D.O.T has 3,069 more HP, and he has 236 more attack, so not too much more attack. He's really just the HP is what makes him quite a bit better. But that's at max versus max of Odric Old Soul, which takes an extra legendary. So kind of that's one extra compared to Odric. So Odric only needs a total of 3. D.O.T needs a total of 4. So a little difference there. And I noticed, nope, I didn't make a mistake. Defense is minus 63, wisdom minus 190, agility minus 225. I did make a mistake. I forgot the minus symbol, but it is in red. Red means negative, green means positive in these videos for me. So the fighter, he has a cool animation. He brings up past dead fighters to create one giant beam that attacks single target. He is good for raid boss and siege because he's single target. He'll still be good in obviously dungeon and PvP, but his forte is siege and raid boss, being single target. Now that I look at it, he takes 1 extra legendary versus Odric for not much more attack and only a little bit more HP. Is it worth it? I don't know. I would probably go with no, to be honest. I just don't see it being very little stats boost and you have to get 1 extra legendary. I don't think he's as good as what I originally thought he was. The only reason I want one is probably because he's the icon fighter, to be honest with you. That's the only reason why I might get him. But looking at it now, I don't think he's that great. For beginner and intermediate fighters, it's going to be expensive. If you can afford one without selling your whole band, don't cripple yourself and sell all your stuff off just to get him, because he's not going to be able to beat stuff for you by himself. So don't sell everything off. If, advanced players, you can figure it out. Obviously, if you want him, go ahead and get him. He's still a good fighter, nonetheless. So it is what it is. He's in the paid build. He's cool, mainly because of his animation and his picture. But like I said, now looking at it, comparing to Odric, unless I'm messing something up, which I don't see it, he just doesn't seem that great now, to be honest with you. And with this event as well, when I first did the first look, it was very early in the morning. I thought this event was actually really good fighters. Turns out, I don't think this event has that great of fighters. So let's move on to the deer. I know I made fun of the deer at first. I kind of like him now, to be honest with you. But let's talk about the deer, and let me compare him to an old fighter. Bring him up from the. We're going to compare him to Malik. He's basically a beefed up Malik, which is nice. Pretty much the skill does the same thing basically. It's like smash, and same cooldowns for 2. Beginner, intermediate players, he is a good champion fighter for you. No reason not to get one if you want one. He's a good overall player. I like my Malik. I actually still have mine. Advanced players, he is great super fuse fodder. He had 691 attack. 691! That's amazing. I love it. Too bad he's not going to be that cheap, or else I would probably get some, but he's awesome for that. Over Malik, he has 507 more HP, 578 more attack, 310 more defense, 72 more wisdom, 100 more agility. Reason why I highlighted the attack is because I believe he's really just super fuse fodder for the majority of people. For, like I said, beginner and intermediate people, he's still a good fighter to have. Maybe eventually one of those days you'll either sell him or use him as fodder, but he will have some value, which is awesome. The reason why he will have some value is because he is very good super fuse fodders. You know what that means for new players? If you get one and you need some bitters, sell him off because he'll be worth quite a bit because he's good attack fodder, which is awesome. Next, we're going to move on to Aril, the recolor of the Marmace. It's all Christmassy colors. The downside to him, unfortunately, is his 2 cooldowns. So let's compare him to the other cooldown of 2 Sting All Fighter, which is Burnham. Good old favorite Burnham. I just bought one and used it as Superfuse fodder. Go figure they release a better one. Aril has basically every stat better than Burnham. He has 124 more HP, 120 more attack, 59 more defense, 124 wisdom, and 333 more agility. What that means is Superfuse fodder for agility, 722 total, which is awesome. Technically it might be 723. I always round down because there's always a fraction. It might be 1 point higher, but I like to round down because I don't know how they actually do it, but I personally round down. But overall, he's literally a copy of Burnham, just better stats. Beginner and intermediate players, I guess you could use him, but totally honest with you, I would sell him off because he's good agility fodder. People will buy him. Buy a 1 cooldown Sting All player like Etten. It's way better with a 1 cooldown, trust me. I don't think even beginner or intermediate players should keep him because he will have value. I believe you should sell him and use that bitters to buy something else for your team that will help you. 2 cooldown on Sting All is just not worth it, guys. Sell it off, buy something else because they will be used as agility fodder for sure. Next, let's move on to the Leaderboard Prize. What is known as Ice Vegeta. Ouija B. Ouija B is a Warlock, and we all know my stance on Warlock, so unfortunately, guys, I am going to hammer him again. Now that I remember, sorry about that, I did not compare Ouija B to anyone. The reason why is he is a single target guru. His cooldown's a little long for single target. He's basically the best Warlock if you like Warlocks, in my opinion. He's the best Warlock. As you can see his stats here, he has good amount of HP, which is nice. He has a lot of attack, typical of Warlocks. He has high wisdom, typical of Warlocks. His agility's not horrible, which is nice. His defense is where it hurts him. Unfortunately, when he goes up against preempt lines, he's gonna die basically instantly. Overall, though, guys, Warlocks. The reason why I didn't compare him because I really didn't have anything I felt that I could compare him to make it decent comparison. He's okay. He's not going to be too expensive. He's probably the worst. He's probably in last place for the 3 out of 3 legendaries. I'd probably put him and the paid bill guy at the last 2 right now, just based on stats alone and everything. The other ones seem to be better in my opinion. The paid build legendary in this event is actually better than him, which kind of sucks. The Leaderboard Prize isn't as good as the paid build. The paid build is definitely better. Probably the reason why you can see a lot of people aren't spending their Nux bits either. They're waiting. They're basically waiting because this event, either they already used them all, or B, this event's not that great. I guess they're saving some more stuff for the dungeon. I doubt it. Who knows next week. But overall, guys, good Warlock if you like Warlocks. He shouldn't be super expensive. I know there's a lot of you guys that really like Warlocks, and I know I hammer them kind of hard. I'm just not a fan of them at all. But if you like Warlocks, he's definitely good to get. He shouldn't be super expensive. Is he worth getting to 3 out of 3? I don't think so. But to each their own. If you really want to, go ahead and pick him up. We're going to move on to the Red Dog as well. I did not do the Red Dog either. Here's the reason why. The Red Dog is one of those fighters where they put him in the game and they just make them for Superfuse fodder. They really aren't good for anyone other than fodder purposes. The dog is attack fodder and wisdom fodder. Without the 150% edge, he has 120 attack for Superfuse, and he has 494 wisdom for Superfuse. If his price is pretty cheap, I might buy him instead of Jinaxes for my new heal ladies. But overall, the dog will be pretty plentiful and he'll be Superfuse fodder. He shouldn't be super expensive. He's not really that good, so as you can see, 5 out of 5 at 3 cooldown on this bell. It's just not there, guys. The dog we're not going to spend too much time on because he's just not very good. And I always forget I have to click the back button, not the home button. It's the top. We do have one more fighter that they are hiding from us. So let's find this hidden fighter. I know one place I can find him. I want to see if I can find him somewhere else. And I think he might be in here. And he is. It's the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree. They're not talking about him. And here's why. He is the same as Poppy Chick. They aren't telling us anything about him. They're trying to make you play this event on the last day to get some. And then they're going to smack you in the face with some BS spell that's not as good as what you thought it would be. It's exactly what happened with Poppy Chick, if you remember a couple events ago. He was sweet, and then they ruined him. So here he is, third and gone. Let's pull up the Poppy Chick comparison. Right now, as we know of, I don't know if anyone actually has an epic form. I believe he's also in his max site, but we're going to compare his minimum of the rare form to Poppy Chick. Literally identical fighters, pretty much identical, and I feel like it's I'm not falling into the trap again. I almost fell into the trap with this one, if you guys remember, and I almost spent a ton of supplies trying to get him because we thought he was going to be preempt all, and that was not the case. But HP is -9, attack -14, defense -5, wisdom -3, agility -14. He's just barely not as good. Now, Poppy Chick had Dispirit All. He was a 3-2. He has Snow Dome 3-2. When you go to Epic, he's probably not going to have the Snow Dome. Who knows what he will have, what his stats are. There's a little hidden fighter. Cool overall fighter, cool design, little tree there. Not bad at all if you ask me. But do not push super hard for him, guys. We fell for that trick with Poppy Chick. You can push for him if you want to risk it, but I'm not falling for it, I can tell you that. But there's the tree. I know you guys should know of it by now. I'm sure you've seen it around, especially because it's in the achievements. But I didn't want to skip over him because I knew you guys would have hammered me for not talking about him. But that's it for this, guys, for the fighter breakdown. Unfortunately, it was a slight letdown to me after I looked into it more. I'm losing my voice because I've actually been recording for like 2.5 hours straight now. But slight letdown. Overall, though, the Icon Fighter is the best one. We got tons of super fuse fodder for us advanced players. And there's some good fighters for beginner players. So that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out that Happy Holidays giveaway for a legendary fighter, because it could be you that wins. Thanks again, guys.